Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. Got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday morning, guys. So, quick disclaimer. I forgot to turn off my notifications, but this should be very quick, and hopefully these phones will behave. Really quickly, I was reading someone's email this morning. And so as I was reading through her email, I got some revelation and downloads that I shared with her, but I figured I would jump on really quickly, share it with you guys. And a lot of you guys already know this, but I know some are struggling. The enemy will literally target your self-esteem and your confidence. Target your self-esteem and your confidence to keep you from the promise. So he starts very, very early on, and this is why a lot of the times you have people who struggle with confidence and self-esteem, and when you really tap back into it, it's really a lot of things that has happened during childhood. Let it be abuse of any sorts, let it be bullying of any sorts, rejection, abandonment, or even that first rejection of their first love, heartbreak, divorce, someone left them, cheated on them, so they've always compared themselves to the other person and think like they were never good enough, etc., etc. All these are just several examples on how things in your past, certain traumas, could relate to why you're struggling with self-esteem and confidence. But either which way, the enemy always intended for you not to see yourself the way that God sees you. For you not to see yourself the way God sees you. Meaning it's not surface level. It's not about you looking in the mirror and feeling beautiful or not feeling beautiful. Or I don't know, you're going throughout your day and you stop to get some gas and this beautiful woman walks by you, and now you're looking in the mirror, you're feeling all like a Teletubby today, and it's just like, this ain't it, right? And so it's deeper than that surface level of just what you see every day, all day, right? So okay, so your destiny, right? Your promised land, due season, all that good stuff, is going to require you to be confident. It is going to require, all caps, require you to see yourself the way God sees you. Again, not surface level, not what society says, not what your mirror is saying. It's the way God sees you. Remember, your destiny is for you. It's specifically for you. So it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, the surface level stuff, because it is designed for you. Your promises, those things that God has promised you, they are literally designed for you. Now, when you start getting out of the will of God and you're trying to make things happen that God has no part of, then, you may not have so much grace in that area. So there's going to be a struggle. There's going to always be you comparing yourself to this and this and this and that, right? So let's just say someone cheated on you, right? Or your husband or your whoever, your boo thing, honey, left you for a whole side chick. Well, that dude was never even not from God, right? You just mess around, got his soul out, right? He was never from God. So now he left you for the side chick or for whatever. And now you're constantly comparing yourself with her. It's almost like, well, did he leave me because she looks better? Did he leave me because she's this and she's that and she's this and she's that, right? So you're comparing yourself with that surface level. But if he was always the man that God had designed for you, he would be with you. He's designed for you. So you are everything to the person that God, if God has it for you, then there's an automatic attraction because God has it for you. And even if it's not initially, right? Once you get into alignment with God, God will change your desires to fit his desires. So you can't see it surface level as, oh, she looks better, because it's not about surface level things. Potentially could be that it's not the person that God has for you, or potentially it could be that this person is struggling with their own stuff. Because a lot of times with women, well, what people like to do is when someone is not quote unquote doing right or they're not acting right or they're out here slipping and all this stuff, sometimes you want to tend to think that it's personal, like it's something with you. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have a banging body. I don't have the money. I don't have the this, and that. You're seeing it personally versus seeing it that the person themselves have their own struggles. They're dealing with their own insecurities. They're dealing with their own traumas. Some you may know about, some you may not know about, because a lot of people keep their traumas hidden, right? But their behavior and stuff like that tells you different. If you're tapped in, you can see it for what it really is. So you're not out here sitting here losing your mind because somebody did this and this and that, and you're taking it personal, like I'm the scum of the earth because she got a better body. That is so surface level, honey. Honey, she can be a 20 on a scale on a scale 1 through 10. She can be a 20, right? You can be what society would judge to be a 3, but your spirit is right. Your spirit is right. She can't touch you. Yes, she may get more surface level looks, I guess, if you will, but that's so irrelevant, right? That stuff is fleeting. It doesn't stick. It doesn't stick. This is why, yes, men are not visionary, visual. So, yes, certain people may catch their eyes quicker, and you're beating yourself up like, oh, she did all the other attention and just all this other nonsense, right? And truth of the matter is that that's fleeting. It's for the moment. So this is why you can have men. I'm sorry, I'm not like calling y'all out, right? Because we got our stuff too, right? But he's captivated by her beauty. He's captivated by her looks. He's captivated by her body initially, because men are just wired like that. Not all men, right? But men are just wired like that. So think about it. If it was really, really solely all about looks, body, and beauty, why do they leave them after a certain period of time? I won't put no time on it, but you get my point, right? Because that one, listen, well, let me try to keep this thing, because I got some churchy, holy folks, right? But the point is, if it was all about the looks, the body, and this and that, why do beautiful girls get left all the time? Why do beautiful girls get cheated on all the time? All the time, because it's not based solely about that. But then you take somebody who may not be as beautiful, but their spirit. Now, I'm gonna plug a name in really quickly, but I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, guys. She gets a lot of slack for her looks, but if I'm honest, I actually think she's beautiful. She may not be, well, I think she's beautiful. But people tend to think that she's this and she's that and she don't look like this but her spirit, and that is tiny. T.I. and tiny. And I know some of you are probably regurgitating in your mouth right now. I really think she's beautiful, but she gets so much slack on her looks. But yet she can keep a man, right? And then I know some of you are saying, well, he cheats. Well, I mean, most do. Hers is just advertised. Not all. But my point is her spirit. We're not talking about this surface level stuff, about what she accepts, what she don't accept, and this and what the rumors are. I'm not speaking about that, right? I hear that. I get it. That surface level. Her spirit is beautiful. She's a beautiful spirit. Do you see how confident she is? Regardless of what people say about her looks and her this and her that, Tiny is extremely confident. And that's not surface level confidence in the sense of she's masking it just to try to make herself or make people think that she's confident. No, she's really confident. She's really confident. But her spirit, and her husband typically talks about this, right? So as the world is calling his wife this, and that, right? He constantly speaks about her beauty, because people are so surface level that they're looking at and I do think she's physically beautiful, in my opinion. I really do. They're looking at surface level things. But if you get to the point where you ask God to give you grace to see yourself the way God sees you, it will change your life. You have to ask, literally. We have not because we ask not. You have to ask, literally. God, please give me grace to see myself the way you see me. And the grace will come upon you, because remember, God needs you to see this in order for you to reach destiny, because he can't take you somewhere and you're not confident. You're going to ruin every single thing. Everything you touch, you're going to ruin because you don't feel you're worthy. See, the whole objective is to get you to fight with confidence and self-esteem, because when you fight with that, you don't even feel worthy of the blessing. So you're asking God for certain things, right? And God want to release these things to you, but you're having a hissy fit because it's taking too long. But you don't, but you don't even see yourself the way God sees you. So when he releases it, you can know that you deserve it. So, really quickly, what does that look like? Backtrack, ask God to show you what areas of your traumas. Was it that first heartbreak? Was it the first boy who rejected you? Was it the first girl who rejected you? Whatever, trauma, childhood traumas. Ask God to reveal to you what was the root cause, right? When he revealed it to you, ask him to give you grace to forgive, expel, heal in those areas. And listen, all of this is a process. Please don't think it's going to happen in 3 days. Right? Ask him to give you grace to heal these areas. Once you heal these areas, you are now whole and you're not operating from a place of trauma and triggers. And, well, let me leave triggers out there, because let me just tell you, honey, right? But the point with triggers is you just have to learn how to manage your triggers. But you may always deal with some kind of triggers. But the point I'm making here is, throughout your healing process, you are now being formed to be the person that you were always before the trauma happens. And listen, everybody have some type of trauma. They're just different type of traumas, right? But throughout your healing process, you will then be converted back to the person who you originally were prior to the trauma. The trauma probably caused you to be a whole different person, right? For different reasons. You can be somebody out here who do you know how many guys have like huge men have like huge hearts and have a desire to love and et cetera, but because they got their heart broken one time, I mean, they shutting it down for a lifetime, honey. Ain't nothing happening. And honey, you're gonna need a whole steel saw to crack at that exterior, right? So, men, I'm really picking on y'all today, and you guys know I'm non-biased, but I'm picking on y'all today, honey. So it's like, okay, you've always had this desire to love and be a family man, and to, because listen, all men are not out here. There's this misconception that all men cheat and all men this, and let's be real here, the majority, yes, but there are a great number of men out here who are truly, like, they have that mindset of wanting to be faithful always, not just because they got older, of wanting to be faithful and have that traditional household and family and this and this and this and that, but they mess around and got, some chick, and they went solely, all caps, solely based on visual, got their heart broken, and honey, the rest of us will catch hell trying to break that wall down. But the point I'm making is, you see how the trauma can change who you initially were. So it's like you're guarded. You got all these different things in place, right? Some people are living a lie and they're masking who they really are because they really want to not be married, but instead they want to travel the world and be an astronaut or something, or travel the world with a backpack and just play the guitar, right? They're a free spirit, but their parents said, no, you must go to college. You must, you must get married by such and such. And they're in this whole situationship, miserable. Miserable. That's not what they were created for. But society will literally shift your mind and try to make you think you have to do this. The whole time God have a whole different route for you, that you signed up for this because of a lack of confidence and not knowing how to really stand up for, well, that all ties in with confidence, truth be told, because when you're confident, you don't listen. Listen, you listening? You don't care about none of that stuff, honey. You're going to do you till the cows come home, regardless of who agrees with it, who doesn't, right? So confidence ties in with that as well. So anyway, I am so off track right now. But again, once God starts to heal you throughout your healing process, then you conform. Again, not conform, I guess. What would be the word when you do something again? I don't even know. Reconform. And now you are walking towards your true, authentic purpose, calling, etc., which in turn gives you massive confidence. Again, in my personal opinion, confidence comes when you know who you are in God. When you know who you are and you don't change yourself. To me, people are very fickle in that confidence area when they're not their true, authentic self. So it's almost like they're a shell of themselves. So it's hard to really just be confident because that's not even who you are. Somebody told you to be that way, or you know you're supposed to be this way, but you don't want to ruffle feathers because that's not like the common thing so it's hard to be confident in a situation where that's not even your true authentic self. So in my opinion, confidence comes, again, first and foremost, when you know who you are in God, but followed behind that is remaining true to your true, authentic self, regardless of who agrees, who understands, etc. Listen, the majority of the people in the world are followers. Look around you. The majority are miserable, they're unhappy, they're crazy, they don't know their head from their toes. I mean, who wants to follow people? I am who I have always been. Anybody who knows me all of my life can vouch and tell you I've always been this mysterious. I've always been this cut from a different cloth. I've always been this set apart. I've always just not wanted to fit in, right? I've always been different, but I stood true on that. And a part of that is, I've said this many times before, but a part of that is also because I heard God very early, maybe, I don't know, 18-ish, something like that, probably earlier than that. But I remember I heard God clearly telling me, never, ever, ever, ever change who you are. I don't care who says what. Don't change who you are. And I stayed true to that for with the exception for about 3 months. I was messing around, got the soul tie. Mess around, got a soul tie. And, been in a relationship for several years. But within the several years, about 3 months, somewhere within those years, you know how them dudes do. They fall in love and now they want to, they want you to be Molly Maid. So I guess I turned into Molly Maid for about 3 months, honey, but God shook me up real quick and real fast. What did I tell you? And so once I heard God convict me about what he had said to me prior, I had to get back, right? Because I tell you, my obedience game is on fleek, honey. I'm telling you. And I can remember when I heard God say that. And I remember, I had to get back. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, but how do you get back? How do you get back? I don't know how to get back. I mean, I guess I knew eventually, but I didn't even know how to get back. This is why you got to be so careful when you are in relationships and even marriages, but I'm gonna stay off marriages, right? But it is what it is. You it can happen so subtly. It can happen so subtly where somebody can get in your mind and start. And keep in mind, these fools, excuse me, these children of God met you, like they were attracted to you a certain way, right? They were attracted. That's what they're attracted to. They are attracted to a certain thing, but I ain't gonna call no names, men. They're attracted to a certain thing because they're visual. And now you mess around and catch some feelings. Now you want people to be out here milking cows and you're not cooking oatmeal every morning and don't leave the house and just you're not. Sir, that is not what you were attracted to. That's why you start acting even fool then. Now you don't even you know because you weren't attracted to that. So you done change a whole somebody listen, somebody is going through this right now, right? Because this ain't me, nowhere near me. This was years ago, right? But somebody got to be going through this because my spirit is pinging, right? So now you change somebody from who they originally were, but now you're in the street trying to find who they were originally. Because they're no longer that in the household. So you weren't attracted to that. But yet you're back in the street trying to seek out and search for what you were originally attracted to. Make it make sense, sir? Make it make sense? And now you're acting real fickle right now. And then you have the woman at home trying to figure out what I just don't understand. I mean, what is going on? I mean, I've changed to who he wants me to be. I'm cooking oatmeal every morning. I got on my bedroom shoes. I don't leave out the house. I just check the mailbox. And, I just read my Bible and I just sit in the house. But he don't come home no more. I'm confused. This was not even me. I'm confused because that's not you. You changed based on what someone else wanted you to become. And now you've become that. You've lost yourself. And when you lose yourself, you lose your way. When you lose your way, you lose your purpose and your calling. You lose your whole direction. You're looking in the mirror like, who am I? Who am I? And all along, he's in the streets searching for you. You. Not the new facade of a made-up person that he don't even want no more because he wanted you. Men, I'm calling y'all out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm putting my girls on game now, but nothing but love for y'all, right? So this is why one of my deal breakers. Now, let's be clear. Let's be very clear. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I think it's important. Meeting of the minds, right? Polishing about certain things. But when it comes down to changing your identity as a person, that's a complete deal breaker for me. See, who is for you is for you. Who is for you is for you, meaning who is designed for you is literally for you. So you wouldn't have to change yourself. Again, polishing is necessary. Meeting of the minds are necessary. I'm speaking about changing your whole identity as a person. If that's where you are and you feel lost, hopeless, you feel lonely, even though you got probably 50,000 people around you, could have 25 kids, right? a whole man. All right, but you feel have you lost yourself? Ask God to give you grace to help find yourself again. And in finding yourself, that's it. That's an internal thing between you and God. Don't let people get in your ear telling you, listen, people is why you messed up to begin with. That's something between you and God. And God will bring back and give you revelation about certain things that you've changed. And he told you from the jump not to. He told you from the jump not to even mess with this woman or this dude, or like he told you from the jump. But God is loving, God is kind, there's grace. But you have to ask. Your obedience is going to have to trump your emotions. Because now you got to worry about, oh, are they going to get mad? Or are they going to leave me? Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, I can hear in my spirit somebody asking me how I got back. I just felt somebody. I'm laughing because I'm having a flashback of a particular moment. But anyway, again, I heard the conviction. No, I didn't. If I'm honest, I didn't hear the conviction first. Here's what happened. I've said this before years ago on a recording, 3 years or so ago. I didn't hear the conviction first. So the person who I was dating at the time, he probably listening to. Oh, he's listening. My spirit doesn't tell me. Keep listening, sir, because ain't nothing happening. Trust me, you already know that. Okay, so his job was having a holiday. It was a Christmas party, and so mind you, he had turned me to Molly Maid, right? Yeah, he turned me to Molly Maid, right? So in my mind, I was really battling because it's like, well, listen, right? I want to get back to Kizzy mode. I want me a nice 2-piece suit on, some heels, but then I can hear him in my head, right, harassing my nerves because you want me to look like the librarian. Listen, no disrespect to my librarians, any librarians, sorry. Because I don't know why librarians is because that's not even affiliated with Molly Maid. Like, I don't even know why I'm saying librarians. Please forgive me, librarians, because y'all sexy. I've seen some sexy librarians, honey. No disrespect, right? So anyway, I was battling in my head because I knew I wanted to be Kizzy, right? Nice 2-piece suit, some heels, blase, blase. But I didn't even feel like Kizzy any longer. So you see how your confidence can even change your whole mind. Like, you don't even feel like yourself. So I was like, well, no, I'm just going to be Molly Maid, right? Whatever Molly Maid is, I don't even know. So I knew, I can't remember what I put on, but it just wasn't me. It wasn't me. And keep in mind, this is the first and only time I've ever allowed someone to change who I was. So when he came to pick me up, this child of God said, "Oh, you look nice, but I thought you would have worn one of your dresses or one of your such and such." I almost said something. I had to pause because I almost said something, right, that would have knocked, too godly up over here. But really quickly, you see how that can play with your mind? Because you change to be one way. It's not even you, right? So you're pulling from your original default setting, if you will, right? You're one way to please somebody, and then the person is not even pleased, or they're pleased when they want to be pleased. You see how that can shift your mind all around? How can you be confident when you're fickle like that? You're struggling with what identity. Which one do I choose? Which one would you like? Which one do you approve? Which one I don't? But you approve, but I don't even feel like myself. And when you don't feel like yourself, you can't feel comfortable, right? So how can you be confident like that? This is why you don't change for people. So I can remember going back in the room, and now I'm back to Kizzy, right? God will always keep a ram in the bush, honey. Let me just tell you. I'm having a petty moment. Ooh. Okay, so anyway, the holiday event was held. I didn't know this at the time, but it was held at a retired, and I'm not calling any names, so don't ask me, a retired NFL's home. Huge plantation, I mean, just massive, right? So when we got there, I was still in my mind, because I'm just like, this fool just told me what I had on wasn't cute, so now I don't even feel cute, and I went and changed, and now I got this on, but I don't even know which one's like, which one would look better. Would he be upset because, oh. So I'm just somewhere in the fog. So I'm watching all these beautiful people walk by. Beautiful woman. This is a retired NFL, so beautiful woman. I'm just looking and looking like, oh, I should have wore that. Oh, I wouldn't look cute in that. But now I'm over here feeling like a frumpy such and such because. But let me backtrack. I did go back and change, right? So I put on a very, very, very nice 2-piece pantsuit, some heels. So I came back to Kizzy just for that moment. Yes, he wanted to show me off, right? I'm Molly Made Molly Made one day. Now I'm arm candy the next day. So the guy, the retired NFL player, I didn't even know who he was, right? Because he was like sitting down in the corner, just kind of chilling, right? But I saw him kept looking at me. I still didn't even know this was the person who was holding the event, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. But he just kept staring at me. So then he walked up to us, well, to my ex. And I don't even know if this was a proper thing to do. I don't know if this is man code, or I don't know if certain men will see it as disrespect. I don't know, because men have their own code. He walked up to us and he introduced himself, and he literally told my ex, peep this now. This is how crazy it is. I'm looking at every other woman as, oh, they're so beautiful, they're so this, all because I don't even feel like myself, because I allowed someone to change me for that short period of time. So you see some of you women are side-eyeing your next homegirl or the next woman, this and you're being catty. Not all women, right? You're being catty because you think she this and she this and she that. It's because you have lost yourself. When you come back to your true authentic self, regardless of who agrees with your pink hair, regardless of who agrees with your piercings in your nose. Listen, I'm just saying, if that's your thing, that's your thing. It ain't my thing. But I got my thing on lock. But if that's your thing, I don't care what people say about pink hair. And if that's your thing, do you. But now I'm over here at the time all insecure and looking at the woman side eye because, oh, she's beautiful, she's beautiful. And the man of the hour came to my ex with me standing there, and he said, I don't mean any disrespect. Honey, God will keep a ram in the bush. I still get excited when I tell this story, honey. He ain't been too excited, but I'm excited, honey. So he came and he said, no disrespect. However, you have a very, very, very beautiful woman on your side. He said, I'm a man, right? And he's actually a mature man. He said, I'm a man, so I don't want to keep kind of like being out of pocket and just looking or whatever. So I just had to come and say that. And you know what this child of God said? Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. I know. Yeah, she's such and such. Dude, tell him how you had me Molly made up in the house. Now you want to sit here and act like you're not. Honey, that moment was when I got the conviction from God. Mind you, this was an outside event, right? So it's like everything just open. I got the conviction clear as day. What did I tell you years ago? Didn't I tell you, don't allow such and such? I was like, but Lord, it happened so suddenly. I didn't even realize. What did I tell you, girl? And so from that very moment, because I heard the conviction and because now I was obedient to follow the conviction, then naturally there was a grace. The grace was always there, but because I followed the conviction, then it's almost like I found myself almost immediately, where I think if people don't follow the convictions in the whatever God is, because He's going to require you to do some things, right? Might tell you to leave the food, who knows? But whatever the convictions are and that you're obedient to, the grace will help you to come back to yourself quicker. If you avoid it, you're going to stay lost. You're going to stay confused. If they're in your ear, whoever, this could be for men and women too now, because let me tell you, women, I've seen women snatch men's balls. Seriously. Excuse me, church, all the folks, right? Where the man loses his confidence. A woman can emasculate a man so bad that he literally loses his balls. Literally. Well, I don't know literally, but so it can go both ways here. So the point I'm making is for everybody. Who is for you is for you. You don't have to be changing yourself. And again, yes, polish, meeting of the minds, but you don't have to change yourself. When you start doing that, then the person they're just not for you. They're just not for you. And you're going to have to be okay with that. But when the right one comes, they're for you. It's a puzzle. It fits. But a lot of people won't be able to do that because it's almost like, well, I've been with this dude for, 5 years. And it's like, God is telling me that I have to do the opposite of what He's asking me. So I can come back to He told me to stop working because we have children and He wants me to be a stay-at-home mom, which is fine. If that's y'all thing, do your thing, right? I ain't got time. You want to be a stay-at-home mom. But I hear God telling me He wants me to start a ministry. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm following God. I'm sorry. So the point is, if God is calling you one way, and especially if this ain't your husband, child, you better go have a seat, sir. Stop harassing my nerves. But I wanted to share that, and this went way left. But in order for you to be able to snatch your destiny, you're going to have to see yourself the way God sees you. So get back to your original self. And most importantly, literally ask God, verbally ask God, God, please give me grace to see myself the way you see me and watch your life change. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.